Good morning. It's good to see you. It is a new week, so happy new week. Happy Monday. It is a Mindful Monday right here on your world. So I hope you're well. You're ready for the day. You're ready for the week, just as we are ready for a conversation today, of which we have had this time and time again. And yes, I am talking about time management, okay? We've had a lot of people say time is money. If you waste time, you're going to be poor. We've had those conversations, okay? My mother used to tell me that, you waste time, you become poor, okay? And some people would say, yeah, where you put your focus, especially when it comes to time, that is where the energy goes. Time, you know how important time is, and there's some people who said time wasted can never be recovered. So what is this concept about time, and why is it important in different aspects of our lives, whether it's at work, in our professional setting, whether it is at home, whether in leadership, whether in school? How important is time, and how can we master the art of a proper time management? So it's gonna be an amazing conversation today right here on Mindful Monday. You wanna stick around until the end of the conversation or the end of the show, because like I said, we're looking at time management this morning, okay? And my panel is already here. We also have an audience who I'm really curious to find out the questions that they're going to be asking this morning, because we're looking at master your time, take control, and we're saying beat the tick and on the moment. So the question that we have for you this morning is very simple, okay? The question goes, which daily routines help or sabotage your productivity? Which daily routines help or sabotage your productivity? That is what we want to understand today right here on the show. So you know the drill by now. At NTV Kenya, across all board on social media is how you can reach us and tell us which daily routines help or sabotage your productivity. Or if you want to call in, we're live. Or better yet, use our WhatsApp number 0112-500-400 and tell us which daily routines either help or sabotage your productivity. And as you do that, let me introduce my guest this morning. And on my immediate left, okay, I'm alone today, MS Wikali, okay? On my immediate left, we have Catherine Jerry Njuki, who is a teacher, joining us this morning. Karibu sana, Catherine. Good to have you. Again, I was telling them how, you know, in school, tulikuwa tunatandikwa sana kwa sababu ya time. So I don't know whether that still happens in schools today.
These days, it doesn't happen
like
that.
It does not. I'm happy watoto because of Echelewa Shule.
Our chap, we just talk to them and mentor them.
Mentor them.
Yes.
Okay, we'll look at that in terms of how then this factors into just helping them when it comes to time management and, you know, plan their schedules accordingly. So thank you so much for making the time. And next to Catherine, we have Dan Oginga, who is a HR practitioner. Good to see you. Good to have you on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
How are you?
I'm good.
HR, would be a time, eh? What time are you clocking in and what time are you clocking out? And
it depends. It depends where you're working.
It depends where you're working.
Depends where you're working.
Okay, all right. We'll look at that and how that actually factors into productivity when it comes to professionals out there. And then next to that, we have Mary Kinyua, who is an author, joining us this morning. Karibu sana. Concept of time. I'm really curious in terms of what you feel, because you've written a book on leadership, which we'll talk a little bit about. So then merging time into leadership and how that is important. We're really, really curious to hear what you have to say. So thank you. Thank you so much for making the time. And last but not least, we have Brian Mwithi, who is a career coach, joining us this morning. Brian, karibu sana. Good to see you again.
Thank you so much.
How you doing? Leo umevaa suti. You know, last time you told us, you know, time ya kutafuta suti, tusishinde tukivaa suti, but you're in a suit today.
Yeah,
you look amazing. Good to see you. And we also have a lovely, lovely audience. Karibuni, how we doing? Salimiani watu wa nyumbani. Karibuni sana. Good to see you guys. Concept of time. Mary, can we start with you to just really understand time? Because like we said, time and time again, we've been told how time is precious. Time is the most valuable commodity, asset, thing, okay? But still up until now, we still have not really mastered, you know, the whole concept of time and how that, what it says about us, how it factors in our day-to-day activities, in our careers, at home, in school. So, yeah, can we just start with it? Concept of time.
So I think first it's important for all of us to note that it's the one constant we all have. Whether you're poor, you're rich, you're young, you're old, it's the only constant we all have.
Yeah.
So then it means that it's the one advantage that we all have over each other, you know, which means we have a consistent advantage across. So I think because before time was used more as a to govern activity, it was not seen as important. But in today's world where there's so much and so little time, then it's becoming very, very important. And I feel he who hasn't mastered it is really controlled by it. And then therefore, the more interest now to really ask ourselves what can we do with it? Because we all have equal of it. To be able to get ahead, if you could say that.
Interesting. He who hasn't mastered it will be controlled by it. Aye, to print t-shirt. No, but interesting, because a lot of people would say, aye, kwani time inenda jaraka? Kwani how many hours do the rich have versus, you know, the other people? But it's true, it's the only constant. But then again, there's some people who know how to maximize time and others who are bado tuna struggle, which I think is why you guys are here, mutu saidi, because hey, ni kama kuna shida. Brian, I also want to hear from you the concept of time and what it means actually to you personally.
Okay. So I remember in high school, we used to be told, the warmer the blanket, the colder the future.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that got into my head. And from then on, I usually wake up very early. Okay. And that has given me a huge advantage. By the time it's 2 p.m., I've done things that people would be doing for a whole day. You see? Yeah. So I feel like for the people who I've seen are most productive, they wake up very, very early and start early. And that gives you a huge advantage over everyone else.
Okay. How early is early for you?
Depends on your period of life. Maybe 4 or 5 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of people at 4 a.m. is where usingizi imeshika vizuri, where you know you call someone, they cannot respond. I see that. So the earlier you wake up, the more advantage you have over others. But then again, there's some people who say, but I function better at night. In the morning, I'm a little bit sluggish. Don't talk to me until I have 2 cups of coffee, and then I am ready to face the world. So these two kinds of people who, there's some who are early birds, and there's some who are like, yeah, don't talk to me. Wacha tu nifanye kazi usiku, asubuhi, please don't talk to me. Dan, I'm curious to hear from you as well.
Personally, I'm a late night person.
Okay.
So it just depends on priorities. And when it comes to time, you have to be intentional, and you have to prioritize it. Okay. And issues pertaining time is that you have to know how your day is going to look like, so that, and minimize distraction. Okay. And so you don't have to procrastinate what you can do now for tomorrow, because tomorrow is not guaranteed. That's true. Yeah, tomorrow is not guaranteed. And what I keep telling people is that prioritize, and of course have a clear strategy on how your day wants to be, envision how your day wants to be, and ensure that you do what needs to be done. So if you're a late night person, do it at night. If you're a morning person, wake up in the morning. So for me, I wouldn't wake up in the morning 4 a.m. to do what? Maybe I do not have anything to do at that point. Yeah. So if I'd planned to pray at that point or do other things, I'll wake up at 4. If I have nothing, I'll work during the late night.
Yeah. So the key word is plan.
Plan.
Which for most people, again, is where kuna shida kidogo, okay?
Yes.
We see what the day will bring. Yeah. And it's true what you're saying, that sometimes you end up wasting a lot of time because of the distractions, procrastination, and time wasted, you know, like I said, we cannot recover. So then how do we plan? That is the question, which we'll come back to you and understand. But I want to hear from Catherine as well, because you see in school, we were told structure. There's a way it's very structured. So you know, at 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. you need to be in school. Period 1 is like an hour or 2 hours probably for double lessons, and then there's breaks. So there's a bit of structure. So I don't know how if probably that helps or sometimes works to the disadvantage of other people.
Yes, structures help. Especially when you plan yourself in advance. Okay. Like being a teacher, you need to plan yourself early enough. Like if you know your day will start tomorrow at 8, whatever you need to use for that day, you need to prepare it early enough so that when the day starts, you don't start wondering if I'm supposed to teach this lesson, I need this material. You forgot the material at home. So teaching helps you plan ahead.
Okay,
yes.
I see that. So now we're master, the art of time management, would you say?
Not really mastering. I think it's in me.
Oh, really?
It's in me because the nature of job, if you're late, you find learners in class. Yeah. When you find learners in class, it brings confusion. But when you plan yourself well, the learners find you in class, you welcome them and such. You just have a beautiful day. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Helps you to like sit in the moment and plan.
Yes.
Very well.
Yes.
Okay. Would you say that has helped you then as an individual in other aspects of your life?
Very much.
Okay.
Very much. Because you find, even at home, when I get at home, I do my things without struggle. Like, I don't have to carry my work from school to prepare at home.
Okay.
By the time the learners leave a little bit early, so I prepare before leaving. So when I get home, I forget school. When I get to school, I become a teacher. When I get home, I'm a mommy.
Let me tell you, oh my, I really like that, because now, and I'll come back to you to then understand, even when it comes to like your mental health, you know, how that helps. Because we see a lot of people, and Dan probably even commented this, we carry work home. Like, we don't know how to separate the work and home. So work-life balance is where we struggle, you know, a little bit. So then how does that affect other areas of our lives? The fact that we're not able to separate the two and maximize the time that we have, say, during the day at work, and when we get home, spend time with family.
To be honest, work-life balance is something that has not been achieved, and it's something that is different from one person to another. And if you say, it's you to decide how you allocate your time.
Okay.
If you are a family person, you are going to say, for my family, I'm going to give them 30% for this particular day or for this particular person. And you have to be disciplined enough to know that this is family time. And you even have to put it in a diary that you know that this is time I'm going to spend with my family. Everything else stays behind. If it's work, you know that this is time for work. You block time. So there's no miracle in work-life balance, and it's not something that you wake up and say, today I'm having a work-life balance. If you want to go and have fun, you plan and go and have fun, and everything else stays.
Okay.
If I have to go to an event, I come. So like I was to come here, I said I'm coming to the show. So everything else stayed. So a matter of work-life balance, it is important. And anytime we tell our colleagues and our staff that this job, it's here to stay, but your family, it's not there. There's what we call a 5-ball theory, where the aspect in lives that will bounce back, and there are balls that when they crash, you don't find them. So that is family. So we tell them, see what is important in your life, and give it a priority.
All right.
And it is very honest that you are not going to give your family 100%. And the time that you have allocated for them will keep varying depending on the seasons of your life.
I see.
Yes.
Okay. Plan to go out and everything else stays. Okay. The practicality of it, very probably, because yes, a lot of people would say, listen, I really want to spend time with my family. We have to work 24 hours, you know. So can we look at the practicality of say, attaining work-life balance based on, say, your own experience and what you've seen, and even on the book as far as leadership is concerned?
So first of all, like I said, we all have equal time.
Yes.
So you can borrow time.
Okay.
Yeah, you can borrow time by delegating. Yeah, so for example, you would spend time cleaning. You could buy a machine that halves that time, or you could get someone to support you with that.
Okay.
So you don't have to do everything.
Okay.
You can decide these parts of my time can then be subcontracted to someone else. Therefore, you are easier. So, for example, if you're a mother, you could subcontract cleaning, for example. You could subcontract other things. So if for it to really be practical, and I know most leaders really have a lot of support. It would be erroneous to show excellence without really acknowledging the number of people who support us to even be, you know, and arrive. So I think it really just then depends on where do you want to put your shilling. That's that shilling you're working for, where do you want to put it? So it's important you then put it in a particular place that supports you to manage the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then again, on the other contract, there's a bit of stigma where people are like, yeah, we are kufanya hii, because you know, like the way people would talk, and so a lot of people are like, and especially women, unfortunately, we want to do everything because the society expects us to do everything.
But who is society?
That's sometimes, okay, good question.
You know, I think we've created that guy there who's always telling us things, but we don't even know who he is.
Who the person is.
Yeah,
sometimes we even tell ourselves
I think
that,
so. I think when every time you say society, just say me, I told myself. Because I believe we've created people who tell us things, but I don't know who these people are.
Who the people are.
Remember, you're on your own course at the end of the day. And that is why you're told about Joneses and not comparing yourself to Joneses and deciding what your own person is. So what do you want to be?
Yeah.
I want to be a great mother. Therefore, your treasures and your time and your resources will go there.
Yeah.
I want to be the great employee. Therefore, then I put my energy and time there.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what
everybody else says. Yeah.
He said. And that then supports you to decide where then you put your time.
Okay.
So if I want to be great mother, it means I want to put more time in motherhood.
Yes.
And it could be that I have to then forego being a good daughter. Or being a good citizen, okay, not citizen. Citizen might get me in trouble. But maybe I'll forego being a good employee.
Yeah.
So either where your treasures are is where your heart will
Is
be.
where your heart will
so
be.
you must make the decision for yourself where you want to put those treasures.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
when I was like 1 year into my business, I was talking to a business coach, and I was telling them how much I have to do everything from marketing, sales, doing the work itself, customer service. And then she told me just hire people, and I was like, if I hire people, they're not gonna have the same passion as me.
Ooh,
And she told me, Brian, if you don't want to delegate, then have fun being poor. That's exactly what she said.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you want to make sure that, especially if you're in somewhere where you have some power or some resources, delegate a lot. It's going to help you a lot. Yeah.
I see that.
Yeah.
Mary, I have a question for you, but I think we'll answer that when we come back from the break. Where does one aspect of our lives have to suffer because you want to focus on the other? Is there a point where we can achieve balance and still maximize on the time that we have? Because like I said, it's the one thing that is constant. So probably we'll answer that after the break. I wonder, is someone struggles with time? Time management, akuna, shida, kabisa. Is there anyone who struggles? Is that you trying to lift your hand? You? Okay. Anybody else who struggles with time? You? Okay. When we come back from the break, then we'd want to understand in what areas of your life do you feel you struggle when it comes to time management? Because the experts are here. They will help us today. Me too. I struggle with time. Okay. But we're taking a break. When we come back from the break, we'd also want to understand on the question of the day to hear from you. And this is as far as time management. And we're asking, which daily routines help or sabotage your productivity? Once again, which daily routines help or sabotage your productivity is the question of the day. We'll be looking at your feedback when we come back from the break. To stay with us. It's Mindful Monday right here on Your World. Welcome back to the show. And just in case you're tuning in right now, today is Mindful Monday right here on Your World. And we're starting the week with understanding how we can master the arts of time management. Because like I said, this is one area that a lot of people struggle with, despite the fact that time is the only thing that we have in common, and that is constant, okay? So I was actually just reading, just to get to understand exactly what does time management mean. Because me, in my thinking, I will be like, as long as I am able to achieve the tasks within a space, it doesn't matter whether I may procrastinate or not, but I may find you, okay? And especially upon last minute, when you're tunakimbianga hivi, that's time management. But really, it is not, okay? So what I've learned is, so they say time management, it is the process of consciously, so there's consciously, okay? Planning and controlling time spent on specific tasks to increase how efficient you are. So there's consciously, there is planning, and then there's controlling, okay? So how are we able to then achieve all these three and make sure that we maximize on the 24 hours a day that we have, all of us, okay? So that is what we are trying to understand today on the show, but we also have a question for you this morning, and the question is very simple, okay? What are... what daily routines help or sabotage your productivity? That is the question that we're asking you this morning. Or which daily routines help or sabotage your productivity? Let's get to hear what you have to say, especially on our WhatsApp number, 0112 500 400. Which routines probably help or probably discourage you as far as your productivity is concerned. Okay, so Philip, if we can have that. But before that, I've seen someone here on Facebook. Oh, good. Okay, let's read this one. So this one says, daily routine, rather distraction that sabotages my day. Scrolling on my phone. We're all guilty of that, I think, okay? And then continues to say, on the other hand, setting alarms and timers for most important things makes my day productive. Also, if something takes less than 2 minutes, I just do it rather than postponing. Okay. And then this one says, mimi time huwa niko conscious nayo wakati niko job. Sahi niko holiday mpaka 5th January. Where? Okay. And honestly, I don't manage it. Kama sahi nimeamka, nikanywa chai na nimerudi kupumzika in bed. This is John Omondi from Banyala Mutere. Thank you so much for that. And then this one says, hi, I am Emmanuel Bryan. A good conversation, but we're not considering the fact that applying traditional time management expectations to neurodivergent individuals can be unfair and unproductive. Neurodivergent people often have unique cognitive styles, strengths, and challenges that shouldn't be judged through a conventional lens. These individuals also happen to be the most productive, technical, and creative individuals. If we are to be practical about this, reasonable accommodation such as flexible working hours is the best way to go. We need a shift of thinking and practice. Good practices. I think I want to hear your comment and you too, because it's true we have neurodivergent individuals in schools and also in workplaces. So I don't know how probably you help in terms of supporting them, that they don't have to follow the structure as long as they are productive and are able to maximize all the time. Can you start with you, Dan?
Right. So in my place of work, there's what we call flexible time work arrangement.
Okay.
So it's more remote. So such people, we give them time to work at home.
Okay.
And for us, we do not measure what time you come to work, but are you able to meet your targets?
Okay.
So you can choose to work at night and be able to send the reports at the required time.
Okay.
You can come to work at even 10 and you're able to complete the tasks, because one thing I've learned is to understand that someone cannot just wake up and decide to come late at work. There might be a reason. There must be a reason why they're late. And as an HR, you have to be more empathetic and put the human focus rather than just being strict on time.
Yeah.
Because again, then you realize that there's so many people that come to work on time, they clock in on time, they leave on time. They spend most of the time on YouTube. They are watching, they're using the company resources to entertain themselves. And those are the people you call productive.
Okay.
And whereas there's someone that will come at 10, leave maybe slightly before the time that they're supposed to leave work, and they're very productive. So one, you create a working environment where you measure productivity in terms of output and know the time that these people come to work.
Okay.
And again, have a flexible work arrangement that you can accommodate these people. Because if your child is sick, if you come to work, you're not helping me. Stay home, take care of your child, and you can work from your house. So, and if your condition does not allow you to come to work, stay at home and be productive there.
Okay.
Yes.
So then how do you ensure that this is not a habit? Because this is human beings there. Nikiongea na HR siku moja siku mbili nione, oh, they're being accommodating. Ai, natafuta nini excuse. Oh, mtoto, or sijui there's something else. And so how then do you make sure that this is not a habit that then impacts on productivity?
One, we have a policy on the SEM to ensure that we are not misusing every single opportunity we have within the organization. So we create a policy that warrants you the times we work from home. Like Friday, it's work from home full day.
Okay.
So you do not have to come to the office. Under certain circumstances, you're allowed to call. But again, that time we give you work. So at home, you're telling you, ensure that you work with your line manager to complete the task within this time. So if you don't complete the task, then you have a problem. So now it is us to just tell you that this is what you're expected to do within this period of time. Okay. So you are working at home, but this report is needed by this time. You are supposed to meet at to attend to this client by this time. Okay. So ensure that there's prompt responding to clients, the reports are sent on time, and the response given to anyone that inquires as an inquiry, it's given on time. Okay. So we have a system to ensure that we give tasks and with clear deadlines that you ensure that, yes, you can work wherever you want. You can even come to town, sit in a Java, work, but give us what you're supposed to do. Okay, yes.
Deliver. Okay, we don't have to necessarily see you in the office from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. because you want to be seen as productive.
I was here, but I was working.
Okay, you're maximizing all the time, so you're here, but you're also, okay, I see that. Yes, Catherine?
Yeah, in the teaching setup, it's very different because everything is physical, the learners, and in a class, you cannot miss a child who is struggling with content. We call them time takers. So you take them as individuals. Yeah. A lesson that is supposed to take maybe 35 minutes, and that child will not be able to complete the task within that time. So we have breaks and lunch hours. So you take time to help that child at that time. So that at the end of the day, they are at par with the others.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, buy time according to what Mary was referring to
Yes,
earlier on,
yes.
and support them.
Yes.
And also understanding that, again, they're different in terms of
they are able
how they
differently.
Okay,
Yes.
I see. That's really
Yes.
good. Brian, when choosing careers, okay, should people then base that on, I don't want to say strengths, but how they are in terms of how they respond to, say, time, okay? Because like we said, there's some people who work very well at night, they're very productive. During the day, they're just like, please don't. So when choosing careers, should that be a factor? Or probably a place where someone is, say they are a mother and they do not see themselves getting to the office by 8 and leaving Siju by 5. By the time they get home, it's 10 p.m. and hajaona hata mtoto. So what are some of these important aspects that people should put into consideration before choosing careers?
Yeah, I feel like that's why most people recommend, once you finish uni, first go to a career coach and discuss. For example, if you're in HR, do you want to make a lot of money? If so, focus on being a HR generalist or being something in HR consulting, or if you want to have flexibility, focus in recruitment, because as a recruiter you can work from anywhere, right? So you can work usiku, mchana, it doesn't matter. If you want to be more maybe mobile, you want a role that will take you from country to country. You can be a culture builder in HR. You go to companies, you help them build their culture, and you go from country to country, from city to city. So you have to go to a coach first and discuss what would be, for example, if you're in accounting, what is your goal? What is your passion, right? And once now you align, you have your passion, now you can do certifications, you can do courses, and you can apply for jobs that match that passion. Because si kila mtu anataka kuwa very rich. It's not everybody. It's not everybody who wants flexibility. Some people are very okay with the 9-to-5 thing. So make sure you find someone who's an expert or a consultant, and then talk to them, and they'll let you know which path will be the best for you.
I see. Okay. And Mary, there's one aspect of my life has to suffer because I'm choosing to focus my energy and my time and my money, for example, on something else. Is there a possibility where we can achieve balance?
So there's really no balance.
There's no balance.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there are seasons, so the imbalance should not be forever.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So, and these seasons are just normal seasons. When you're planting, there's a different way you present yourself than when you're reaping and things like that.
Sure.
So, I feel it's really to align to the season. If I have a very small baby, it is impossible for me to imagine that I would achieve perhaps great fitness, etc. So, it is really to appreciate that season. But for me, it's to give the very best to the season so that you're really getting the value of it instead of spending the time mourning the loss within that period.
Could have been,
So for example, you go for coffee and someone's looking at their phone. Then you ask them, why are you looking at your phone? They say something like, my daughter or someone might call. But you're neither here nor there.
Okay.
So you lose on hanging out with your daughter and you also lose on hanging out in the present coffee place. So wouldn't you rather just serve the coffee and then go deal with the daughter later on?
Right?
Yeah, so I think for me, people really waste so much time mourning what isn't, than just focusing and relishing and being the very best at what you're at.
Yeah, I really like that because it's true. We want to be everywhere, but that's not possible. And we want to pay attention to every other aspect of our lives, but sometimes not even sometimes, it's impossible.
Yeah,
so focus
so like when people tell you
society
will expect me, but they're not even doing what society is saying, and they're not also doing what they want to do. So I feel like people waste a lot of time talking about wasting time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I feel like I waste time while wasting it, right?
Yeah.
At the moment. So I feel like just decide what it is and where you're at, then really, really be good at it.
You know what? You said you have mastered the art of time management. And I'm like, please help us. We are at your feet. Help us understand how. But before that, let's engage the audience a little bit and then we'll come back to you to understand what are the mistakes that we are doing. One of the things that you pointed out is we waste a lot of time talking about how we're wasting time, right? And we'll also look at the other aspects of as far as time wastage is concerned. But yes, question, comment, and please keep it short. Please start with your name.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Brenda. Actually, me as a true daughter of Kenyan soil, I'm always a last-minute person. Like, I can even plan, I want to do something, maybe I want to go buy some things. I'll window shop, and then I realize, time is...
You don't have time?
Yeah. I start now rushing here and there. I'm almost like, how help me understand how can I be strict to myself so that I can be able to keep my time, because me nakwanga tu mtu wa last minute.
Yeah. Okay.
Always.
Majority of us can relate to what you're saying. All right.
Okay, thank you. My name is Ochieng Kevin, and I have 3 questions to ask Professor Dan.
Oh, that is the HR. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, Professor. Wait for Professor.
Yes, Professor.
So 3 questions, all the 3 of them for Dan?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. From an HR perspective, what is the biggest time management challenge employees face today? Then the second question is, where does poor time management come from? Is it from the organization or is it from the individual?
Okay.
Then from the practical workplace strategy, how should professionals prioritize tasks when everything seems urgent?
Okay.
Then the last question goes to Mercy.
Mary?
Mary. Sorry, Mary. Many people do complain that they don't have time, yet we share the same 24 hours in a day. Thank you.
Okay. Hey, will you remember your 3 questions?
I'm still trying to remember.
You're still trying to remember? Okay. So the first one was on...
The first one was on?
The biggest challenge.
Please use the mic and please put it closer to your...
Okay.
Yes.
The first question I ask from an HR perspective, what is the biggest... in terms of time management, what is the biggest challenge employees face today? Yes, in terms of time management.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the other one was, where does poor
time management come from? Is it from the organization or from the individual?
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Hiya. Makumbuka?
Yes.
Okay, let's take one more and then we can answer that first round. Good morning.
My name is Juliet. So my question goes to all the panelists.
Yeah.
You have speak about the session of imbalancing. So how often do you assist the PWD people to go to be attached with the time alignment, since that there is that say which goes like procrastination is a thief of time. So in this team balancing, how often do you help them to fix and make them attend to their task at the end of the day?
Okay. All right. One more and then we answer that first round. Rembo Mcheshi.
Yeah, hi everyone.
Hi.
Yes, this is Mrembo Mcheshi Kananu Catherine. Now, the Bible says in the book of Proverbs 24:33 and 34.
Hey.
Yes, I will read: a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come on you like a thief, and scarcity like an armed man.
Hey.
Now, in order for me not to let that poverty come to me, depending on the assignment that I have, sometimes I will transnight.
Yeah.
Sometimes I will wake up before 4 a.m. like Coach Brian. Like, I will not sleep. So, Coach Brian, I'm directing this question to you. So, how do I do all that without affecting my health? Or rather, what measures should I take when I transnight, when I wake up early? But now, at the same time, we need sleep here. But so, what measures should I take so that my health will not be affected negatively?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Rembo Mcheshi. Okay. Do you want to go first?
Yeah.
Okay.
My mentor says balance, like work-life balance, is earned. Yeah. You can't have work-life balance when you're starting off. You have to reach to a point where you have people who you can employ to make money for you. You can employ to clean clothes for you. You can employ to take your dog for a walk, so that you have that balance.
Okay.
So I feel like you need to be in a period for 1 or 2 years where you have zero balance. It's just focus on getting out of the situation you're in.
Okay.
And then now once you're out of the situation, now you can look for balance. Because you have the money to pay, for it.
We're a new student, okay? And a trans night. So hana pesa ya kulipa mtu amsome. Hakuna hata your luxury.
So
okay?
For now, don't focus on balance. Just focus on achieving your goals first, and then the balance will come after you get the goals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to contribute? I see your face.
I think sleep is part of balance.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, sleep is one. It's like eating. You must eat, even if you're busy. So I think you must prioritize sleep for its time. Maybe you're not going to sleep 10 hours. But you can sleep the minimum number of hours that is required. Because without sleep, then you will not be able to perform optimally.
Yeah.
You know, so you're really self-sabotaging if you, for example, forgo food or forgo sleep.
Yeah.
So I think you should just schedule it. Ensure that you know that I sleep from 10 to this time, and then you then when you're then awake, you'll be as productive as you possibly can.
Okay. Before you answer your question on, we all have 24 hours. Panini wengine wana maximize his question, yeah? Can we still speak on the same? Because we see this a lot, even in high schools. You know, some of us tungesoma mpaka saa 6 usiku, and then at 4 a.m. tumeamka. So the sleep deprived in the process,
understanding yourself and also balancing and planning, because someone can be a person who can wake up at 4 a.m., read, and that's it. There's someone who will be able to read in class and don't have to read aside. So it's about understanding yourself and also planning and loving what you do. Because like if you say you sleep for 10 hours and you know what is awaiting you, obvious.
There's something.
Even if the Bible says it, we have to. We have to. Sometimes we misquote the Bible. Because the Bible, we must sleep for growth. But then if you oversleep, it means
there's a problem.
There's a big problem.
Okay.
Yes.
And still on the same, when it comes to then the school structure, I don't know if preps is still a thing. There was a debate some time back to completely scrap it off so that, you know, learners have enough time to sleep. So I don't know if that is still happening. But from the education system, how would you say some of these things is actually contributing to people, you know, not learning time management, or they're sleep deprived, their mental health is, you know, completely affected? Because we saw that a lot when we were in school. There's some people who would not sleep, wake up very early, sleep very late, in the process of trying to learn. Now, ukipatikana unalala time ya preps, that's a problem. If you do not wake up at 5 a.m., that's a problem, okay?
So the new system of education is a little bit different, because it's allowing learners to choose the best, whatever they are good in. Like if you are a footballer in future, so you choose what you like. So you work towards what you want to achieve in future. And learners, you just train them. When you train them how to go, they don't have to overstretch themselves. Because if structures are there, they'll be able to follow and things will fall in place. Yes.
All right. Interesting. I'm like, mulikuwa wapi sisi tukisoma jameni. Preps tuabadilisha asubuhi na jioni. Okay. Your 2 questions.
Actually, mine were 3.
3? Yes, go.
Actually, mine were 3. But of course, just also to echo what my panelists have said, you know, sometimes rest is underrated, and sometimes people may have misunderstood it. So they don't even want to sit back and rest. But unless you have gone a moment of fatigue and realize you can just walk up and collapse, and you realize that all these things are working for, they are for nothing. You realize that you leave everything behind. And there's a time I took an Uber around 3 a.m. And I found this guy so sleepy, and I asked him, what time do you rest? Say, kwa nini nipumzike na nafaa kutafutia familia? And you again, this person is driving people on the road. If he's sleepy, it causes accident. So now back to my question on the challenges that we face. Of course, there's a phrase that we normally use, especially when you're an 8 to 5 job, that wacha nikajaze masiku. That because it's already an agreement that we are paying you to come to work at 8 and leave at 5. And again, and nowadays employees are so knowledgeable, especially now they know the Employment Act more than we know it. And they say that you're expected to be in your place of productivity. That means you come, sit in your desk, maybe do nothing. And for them, it's like, let me just go to work. And being to work for them, it's a productivity thing. And find people coming to work like almost the right time and leaving the right time, they're not productive. So for them, it's about pleasing the organization and pleasing their supervisor. It's like, but I was at work. I was not at work. So, and that is a big challenge because now people have not defined the reason why they're coming to work. For them, it's about coming to tick the boxes, get paid, and go home. And again, now the organization has to suffer because of productivity. But now we are encouraging employees to have discipline in realizing this is someone's business and this business has employed you. So if it collapses, your job is also at stake. So just come to work and also plan for your day. And if you have an understanding supervisor like some of us, we don't even have to stay the entire 8 hours. Come talk to me. Have you finished what you are going? Go home. Sometimes even close immediately after lunch. Let's go home and have fun. Now, the second bit was about the culture. It talks about who is the problem. And of course, if you clearly look, it's about culture. Because culture is about from top to leadership. So if you are a leader and you tell people, by 8 a.m. you should be here and you are not there, you have a problem. And people will just follow what you did. Just like some parents, you know, I've watched my niece and nephews grow up, and they don't do what you are telling them. They are doing what you do. So if I call for a meeting and I tell you come at 8, the meeting starts at 8, and I'm there walking 9 a.m. shamelessly to the room, then am I leading by example? So one, it's an issue of culture. So as leaders, we have to lead by example, and you have to create a culture where you preach water and take water. You don't preach water and take wine. You say you're doing to do A and you do A. You don't talk about time management and you're the one coming late. You don't talk about time management, you're the one consistently not meeting your deadlines. So, and even for employees, you just have to create a discipline, because the habits you pick at work are the habits you're going to carry eventually when you're going to have your own company. You can't talk about managing time, you can't talk about wasting your employer's time, and when you start having your own company, you expect miracle to work. So when you create systems,
to respect the time.
Yes, when you create systems, this system work with you in the end of life. So, and you also have to understand the seasons of life you are in. So even at work. Yes.
Okay, I see that we're during a break, but when we come back, there's your question, and then there's the PWD's question, and also the last part to his question about we all have 24 hours. Continuing, you know, last side others haven't. Okay, so let's take a break, and then when we come back, we'll answer those questions plus take more questions. But also a reminder on the question that we're asking you this morning, and that is. Which daily routines help or sabotage your productivity? Which daily routines help or sabotage your productivity? I see someone here on Facebook. This is Rama John, who says, lying helped me a lot this year. My brother is actually sending me the hospital bills in Mombasa. They have been lying throughout, and says that has helped them, okay? But really, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll also look at your feedback on which routines has helped or sabotage your productivity, okay? See you after the break. Welcome back. Officially in the second hour of the conversation on this Mindful Monday, and we're looking at mastering the art of time management, because like we said, this is an area where a lot of people struggle because we have not mastered the art of time management, and then that impacts different aspects of our lives, either school, work, or even at home. And we're asking you this morning, which daily routines either sabotage your productivity or help as far as your productivity is concerned, okay? Which is some of these daily routines. I've seen there's someone who said they're lying, lying in our ideas, which I don't know how. And then Dazil, still on Facebook, says, waking up at 4 a.m. really changed a lot in my life. What we're waking up at 4 a.m. Hey, Mutupe, the tips and tricks and how that.
It's a life hack.
Yeah, it's a life?
It's a life hack.
It's a life hack.
Like, for example, for me, because I work with clients, I get a lot of calls between 8 a.m. all the way to 5 p.m.
Yeah.
But between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. I can do dedicated work that would take me maybe 6 hours if I was doing it during the day. But I would only need 2 hours if I do it between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. So that bliss, that quiet, that moment of just pure focus is unmatched. It's a life hack.
I see. Yeah. Hey, tuamuke 4 a.m. in short. 4 a.m.
Yeah, and then you sleep earlier also.
And then you sleep earlier.
Yeah,
okay, so how early do you sleep?
9 a.m. 9 p.m. 9 p.m.
9 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay, and you wake up at 4. Okay, okay, you get a good number of hours. Mary, last minute, so many others, okay? And there's some people who say, me, for example, I work very well. Your pressure, unajua, guy, I only have 30 minutes. I am the most productive kushinda the entire day, and you even dedicate trying to do that thing. And I want to imagine that is also the same for you. Yeah. So last minute, people, is it a hack? Ama too, we need help.
How is it going?
Hey, yeah, not bad.
then you're in your element. Then try not to change. If it's working, the problem is if it's not working.
Okay.
But if it's working, happy day.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we can all be the same. Yeah, but I think if you're discontent, then there's something that needs to be done.
Wrong.
But if you're hacking it, I think that's your life hack.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
The 4 a.m. hack.
Yeah. Actually, as for me...
Mike, where's your mic? Where's the mic?
As for me, being a last-minute person, when I do something that I've planned, I do it so badly. Like, not in a way that's supposed to be done. But when I do something in a rush, last minute, I do it perfectly and very well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's your life hack.
Yeah, that's my life
Just
hack.
like Akina Brayo's 4 a.m. Life hack, yeah? And then there was also the question, or we all have 24 hours. Why is it that there's some people who are able to maximize it and there's some people who still struggle with that?
So I think, first of all, you have to define what time means for you.
Okay.
So I guess the ones who define it better get more value from it. So, and you have the 5 buckets of the wheel of life. You have your family, your health, your relationships, your health, your finances, your career, etc. So you can decide where you want to invest yourself. So I imagine when you're in maybe uni, your investment is just to make sure you get the degree. So then you mostly invest time there, if you're a mother, etc. So I think for me, it depends on what is your definition of time. Is how do you use time? And I like what he said earlier about that people don't want to grow rich. In fact, I'm coming from the old, I'm not a Gen Z.
Yeah.
So I don't hear that. I don't understand that concept that the guys who just wake up in life and don't want to get rich. So there is a way they will live, but that's a choice. You have to make a choice around it. And then only if you're discontent about how your 24 hours is serving you, then will you look to change it. So maybe at uni, it doesn't matter how you spend time, but maybe as you grow up, you say, oh, I want to do better, therefore I need to find better. So I think for me, the difference is in your definition of really what do you use time for.
Okay. And then you talked about how you have mastered the art of time management, right? And also wrote a book on a guide for emerging leaders, how to beat the imposter syndrome. Can we talk about that a little bit and also just look at leadership, in a sense, because Dan talked about, you say you're a leader. There's a meeting at 9, you show up at 9:30 and come and say, apologies, guys, I am late. I was in another meeting. We use that excuse a lot of the times, right? So in terms of being a great leader and leading by example, given that we're talking about time management today, just take us through a little bit of that and also talk a bit about the book.
So I think for you to lead anyone, you must lead self. That is the foundation. So, and that's where they say lead by example, right? So the things you wish to see in the followers or to see it done by the followers is ideally what you must live. Therefore, a leader must really ground themselves. By the way, the higher you rise, the harder it is, the more visible you are, and the quicker it is for us to hit at you. Therefore, it is very important for you to stay on ground, to have some level of ground. Therefore, when the wind comes, you shake still, but you won't fall. Because then if you fall, you're falling all your followers. You're failing all your followers. So practices that we speak in the book too, because you find most leaders struggle with, am I real? Is this real? Will someone out me? It's really to make sure you've got grounding practices, earthing practices that then support you to stand with some firmness. So for example, if you're a leader and you have Shylock on you, you don't know at what time they're going to come. So you really, half the time you're struggling, if you're a leader and you have an alcoholic problem or whatever problem, so you're constantly wondering what you need to do. So what you then now need to do is found yourself. And, some of the practices, wake up on time, show up on time, so that then when you arrive half an hour later, the people are already discussing you. So you're coming to the room at a disadvantage. So then it's important that you come on time, you prepare for the meeting on time, you have your community, which you go back to debrief, because, you cannot debrief in public, you have to debrief in your private. You have to have a tribe that holds you strong when things are thick. So these are the things that support you to be a little bit more intentional in terms of leadership. So scheduling is at the very top, in my opinion. You know, because as a leader, also you're called to more. You're called to mother better. You're called to wife better. You're called to be a better citizen. So if you don't manage your time, then it means you won't be able to appear in these places.
That's true.
So I joke about this. Employees leave work on Friday. In the Friday evening, there's the Friday hangout, right? I don't know, does that still happen in Kenya? Are we also broke? I'm the only
Economy.
The economy.
Economy is...
So Friday you go on a hangout, you come home late. In the morning you have a Rorashio on Saturday morning, and then you have another function in the afternoon.
Yes.
Then, of course, the function extends to the night. Sunday, you go to church, and then there's another function in the afternoon. By the time you're arriving on Monday, you're more tired than you were on Friday. Then you say, I'm burnt out. Then now you're blaming your employer for burning out. So I think the question is, you know, you can have it all. You know, you can be the social butterfly, the professional person. Where do you draw the line? Must you go to all the rushes? Must you go to all hangouts? Must you? What's really important? Is it refueling yourself for the next week? What is important? When do you take breaks? When do you block hours, etc.? So, yeah. I mean, I've had parents talking about their children sleeping late, and I'm like, who's paying the bills? If I'm paying the bills, you sleep my time.
You sleep for time.
So you don't have a child then controlling you, because then you understand the impact of that control on yourself. The child doesn't. The child can sleep at midnight and wake up at midnight. They can snap during the day. You can't. You have a place to be. So then you control also the environment, and you make people aware that if you don't do this, then most probably I will not be doing this. For example, if someone has to invite me for a function, it has to be quite, sometimes, you know, you cannot show up and say, hey, how are you doing? We've got to, you know, because then it's sort of like I was just chilling and waiting. So when you look at your calendar, it will tell you where you're living. Are you living in priority? Are you living in, are you responding to needs? Because for someone to call you for a wedding in 2 weeks and they've been planning it for a year, it means you're, by the way, you're filling in the numbers. They're like, oh, we wanted 100 and we have 99. Let's look for a guy. So that you're the guy.
You're the guy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It really it also just shows the value they place on your time.
Someone is actually saying you need to be selfish with your time.
So it's for you to really guard it. You guard what you can and cannot do, and also prioritize things like rest. I think for me, rest is at the very top.
Important.
I
see that. A hack I've been using lately is if someone invites me for something, I'll say no upfront. Thank you so much for inviting me. I won't make it. And then if I feel like I want to make it, I'll ask them, hey, by the way, is the invite still available?
Really?
Yeah.
Does that
really
then
helpful.
make you, if you wish you go to...
No, it's been working very good for me. Okay.
Because if
you don't have that pressure of nilisema yes and I still don't want to go. You already said no, and then if you feel like going, you can just ask. If it's not available, you focus on your
I think that's a hack, because at a point may catch, so they'll be like, it's not, it's already full. So that saves you a lot of...
Either way, you win.
That's very smart. New hack for me. You say no immediately front, and then you think about it later. How about just say, hey, let me check my calendar and then get back to you?
But that now puts pressure on you, because most probably they'll be expecting a yes if you say that. But if you say no up front, there's zero pressure on you now, and you only go if you really want to. And if you really can.
I don't know. Okay. Can we answer the question on PWDs? We'll come back and unpack that in a second. Do you want to go, in terms of supporting persons living with disabilities?
For people with PWD, one is to provide for them resources to work. Because, yes, they are enabled differently, and their strength is somewhere. So we can't say that they are not useful. So for people with PWD, especially in all organizations, one, create a conducive environment for them. So you cannot say you're having the office is on 6th floor and you don't even have a lift. They're on staircase. How do you expect them to get to the office? That even is an insult to them. And again, have you provided them with all the resources that they need for them to be productive? Like, do you have a braille machine for them? Or you expect them to come and work magic? So as an organization, by the time you are coming to have an inclusive culture, you also have to ensure that you have the resources to support them, and also have a flexibility and understanding and empathy, that you know that sometimes they may not deliver to that standard. So sometimes we also have to help them, offer them a helping hand, a capacity build them, and also support them. Just tell them that we are here to help you. We are here for you. Okay. So when you have that, you also increase their morale, and also they know that they are included. You create a culture of inclusivity. You don't create barriers, but you also have an open door policy where they can walk in, they can address their issues. If they are coming to work and they realize they cannot productive, yes. And it also happens when you are an employee and you also have taking care of other, maybe your relative or someone has such a condition. So you also have to create time for them that go and attend to your person, go and attend to your family member. So it's able to understand your employees and also creating an inclusive culture and a supportive work environment.
I see. All right. Do we have other questions? Okay. Okay. So start with your name and please keep it short and tell us who you're directing your question to.
Okay. Habari zenu kwanza.
Salama.
Yamkini kwa wale ambao hamnijui ama ni mara ya kwanza, ni vyema nijitambulishe. Kwa majina naitwa Joseph Marwa. Jina la usanii naitwa Mtetezi Mwafrika. Okay, kulingana na mada ya leo, mimi kwanza hii mada ya leo nimeipenda sana. Kwa sababu cha kwanza iko na maslahi pana ya taifa na familia kiujumla. Na taifa dhabiti ama familia dhabiti lazima liwe na watu ambao wanaheshimu muda. Kwa sababu tusipoheshimu muda utatutawala. Kwa muda ukitutawala, tutajikuta tunafanya vitu ambavyo sivyo kwa muda ambao sio. Kwa hiyo kila kitu inafaa tukifanye ndani ya muda na kitu hicho kizae matunda ambayo ni sahihi. Mfano, ukilinganisha Kenya na Japan, wale watu wanafanya kazi sana na wako na mpangilio ya muda. Na kinachosababisha nchi zingine ziendelee ni kwa sababu ya kuheshimu muda. Unaona? Na katika huo muda umepanga kufanya nini? Faida zake ni zipi? Matokeo yake ni yapi? So huwezi kuniambia labda muda ambao labda ulifaa uwe kazi, unawajibikia familia yako ama taifa lako. Wewe huo muda uko kwenye vigenge, unapiga soga. Mara unacheza karata. Unaona? Unacheza karata, unakunywa pombe, unafuta bangi. Yaani unafanya vitu ambavyo havina mantiki yote katika jamii. Alafu uje niambie kesho unahitaji uwe na gari. Kwani hiyo gari utashushiwa kwa miujiza? Ni kitu ambacho kiwezekani. So mimi wapendwa, nchi yetu kwanza tuanzie kwa viongozi. Hebu angalia ofisi nyingi za serikali zinafunguliwa saa ngapi? Masaa halisi ya kufungua labda ni saa 2. Lakini mhusika mkuu atafika pale saa 5. Tunajenga nini sasa hapo? Tunajenga ama tunabomoa?
Okay.
Unaona? So lazima sisi wenyewe ambao ni viongozi ama ambao ni wakubwa, lazima tuwe na mfano bora ambayo itasaidia hao ambao wanatufuata waweze kuiga kitu fulani kuhusu muda. Unaona? So mimi ambacho ningependa kusema kwamba ili uweze kufanikiwa na ili uweze kufanikiwa ndani ya muda inategemeana wewe ni nani, umeweka malengo gani na unategemea ufike wapi. Unaona? So mimi wapendwa, vijana wenzangu kwanza, yani hata serikali ningekuwa sijui aje, mimi ningeanzisha tu program. Masaa ya mchana kuanzia saa 2 mpaka saa 10. Kijana asipatikane mtaani akikula mgoka, akivuta sigara ama wakifanya vitu ambavyo havieleweki. Kazi ni nyingi, lazima tujenge taifa. Na taifa linajengwa kwa vijana ambao wana maintain muda. Kwa ndugu zangu,
very nice.
Tuungane kwa pamoja kwa niaba ya kujenga taifa. Ili Kenya iwe nzuri, lazima tuheshimu muda. Kwa sababu maendeleo hayaletwi kwa miujiza. Mzee wa miaka 90 hauwezi mwambia leo akachimbe mtaro wa kupitisha maji taka. Haiwezekani. So sisi vijana, muda, yani fanya kitu kinachowezekana kulingana na muda uliopo. Kwa sababu ukipita wakati, muda ni moshi, huwa ujirudii. Yani ukivuka, ukipita umepita. Kwa tuwe makini na muda.
Msanii mtetezi amesema. Amesema usipoheshimu muda utakutawala. Haya, nani mwingine kuna swali? Okay, comment. Okay, go. Uonge Kiswahili kama hiyo ya.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mine is to echo what Mwalimu has said. My name is Steve. I think I would say I'm a very spontaneous person.
Okay.
And I've had it even somehow, somewhat affect my love life, my relationships. Because sometimes I feel like what Brenda has said, you know, you might plan for something so much that you're not open somewhat to, I don't want to say disappointments, but there's that bit of what if. You see?
Okay.
So you find there are people who are so straightforward. Kama mnaenda Mombasa, ni Mombasa, you know. And you're like, nagari kipata puncture tutafanya nini? You know. Okay. Or what if kumenyesha, or, you know. So I'd say, now, for my question, I'd say, for someone like me, and who deals with people who are very, I don't want to say rigid, but wanampangilio.
They're not flexible.
Yeah, they're not flexible for lack of, yeah, they're not flexible. So what do I do? Do I accommodate them? Do they accommodate me? How do we integrate
Wait,
this
so
thing?
if I understand your question, so you're very spontaneous, and
Yeah.
then you deal with people who are very rigid. That you end up, you know.
Yeah, it's kidogo we rub
But
shoulders.
hence kidogo hivi.
Yeah.
So how do you do that? Okay, Mary, I'm curious to hear what you have to say. But hey, can we take one more question before we look at the feedback on WhatsApp? Wewe kwanza tuanze, wewe ukae hapa. Time management iko kidogo, but yeah.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Alvin. For me, you see, time I take it as a currency.
Okay.
Yeah, whereby if you don't use your time well, then it's like it will depreciate. Whatever, your productivity will lower down. And for me, I'll just pose a question, but it'll like an open air question to our panelists.
All right.
So assume, these are most of Kenyans, most of us. Assume that you are this type of person who normally does everything, una planning everything accordingly to for you now to end up like ukume manage time yako. So what is the best advice would you give someone who does everything and who tries to be on time and also complete everything on time, but the person ends up like falling back and always being late in doing things or some things? So is there like a spirit that controls time?
Okay, that's an open question. Okay,
where he's going with that question.
Yeah. Okay, can we take one more and then, let's answer that because I can see our time is how much spent. Will be due on a break in just a second. Yeah, Mary, do you want to answer that question on the space of spontaneity versus people who are not flexible, and how do you handle that? And also just speak on people who are very spontaneous, because yes, I have seen some people who, the whole aspect about planning, it is not in their vocabulary at all, okay?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, I think the gentleman who asks looks young.
Yeah.
You're young, yeah?
I'm a graduate juicy.
Okay. So I think as you grow, you try and take good practice from other people. So even the rigid people have a good practice you can borrow, and then also look at yours, whether it's actually working. You know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And then try and balance. Yeah. But I think for me, the spontaneity will be guided, I think, by a phase of life. And even maybe what you really do.
Okay.
So I guess like if you're in a flexi environment, you can be spontaneous, but if you're in a rigid environment, you would not. So my suggestion is just read your environment and the season of life, and just adjust.
Yeah.
Don't say I am don't label yourself spontaneous. You don't even know you're young.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe the next
maybe
few years
yeah,
will be
maybe the
rigid.
next few years we will not even recognize you. But also it's just be ready to learn, be ready to adopt new things. I think that's what I would say.
All right.
And I think to the gentleman who has a spirit of I think if you plan and you're not pursuing your plan, there's already something wrong with your plan.
Yeah.
You actually are not planning. So maybe rethink the word planning.
The planning, yeah.
And just, again, for me, it is what do you want? But then for Gen Zs, just for their information.
Okay.
you know, they're not going to be young forever. Sure. I think this is the part they haven't gotten it yet. At some point, you'll now be Gen Z ulemze or something like that. Because even we as millennials used to be young, and everyone used to talk about millennials and this. But then now no longer, you know, now they are telling us we are the parents of Gen Zs. You know, so we've left the title of. So also youth is fleeting. Yeah. So don't use it too much to justify everything, including you are supposed to do work. Oh, but I'm Gen Z.
I mean, listen.
Or, you know, you're this. So I think it's very important to see the phase. And maybe like what Brian was saying, see coaches and mentors who really support you to keep moving yourself upward there.
Yeah. Remember, you're only young once. Whatever you do with your time we're used to that, right? You're only young once. Whatever you do now will impact your future. So be very wise about it. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at what you guys have to say as far as the question of the day, and that is which daily routines either help or impact your productivity. Okay, let's see what people have to say as far as which daily routines help or sabotage your productivity. Okay, let's see what you have to say on our WhatsApp number 0112 500 400. Let's see what you have to say. Okay, so this one says hi, personally, I think that's what they meant. If I find myself losing my time track, especially in reporting to work, I realize I'm no longer enjoying the work. It's only for the salary, because if you do what you love, time won't be an issue, okay? And then this one says, dear NTV, I like the topic because it hits home. I am a procrastinator par excellence. Hey. About work life, I prefer to call it work-life alignment, which is dynamic and varies with seasons of life. During some seasons, one part of life will suffer more than others, and vice versa. And then there will be a season when everything aligns. Okay. And then this one says, hey, Job 38, verse 12. Have you commanded your day simply means ordering your time in prayer so that everything is done according to time, and God's faithfulness will fix you as you pray. This is Reverend Commander Niels. Okay. And then this one says, I am Christina Tieno, watching from Homa Bay County of endless potential. Why? You guys have nailed it. I am enjoying the show on time management and learning more tips. Keep the fire burning. Thank you. And then this one says, I can see live currently on Nation TV. Yes, very much. We are live. And then this one says, hi, I am Brian from Lugari. I think managing time is difficult since it passes irregardless. What we should manage better is ourselves, our attention, our energy, and our focus in order to achieve our goals successfully. Okay. So time management is difficult, but we should manage self and see. Does that like go concurrently, I think? No?
Yeah, and I think when you talk about things like productivity vis-a-vis time management, those are two different topics.
Right.
Because you could use your time well, but not be productive. You know, so I think it's where do you put your energy, where do you put your focus, what's important. And I think just like you would do money tracking, it's very important to do time tracking.
Time tracking.
So that you ask yourself, if you look at it, where really are you spending your time? Where would you change that if you needed to? If you're finding like you're scrolling perhaps 3 hours just on social media and it doesn't suit you, it could suit you. But if it doesn't suit you, then you say, okay, maybe this is the point where I'm losing time.
Okay, let's take a break. Tutarudi na tu tap screen TikTok sana ne usiku tuko tu hapo instead of on sleepy. Na leo tunakusema tutapewa mwili mpya mbinguni. Kwa hivyo hatulali. Where do they fit? Do you want it to?
Yeah, there's a guy that said about rigid.
Okay.
We are off.
No, we are not. We're still on air. We're about to take a break. Okay. Do you want to answer that in like 30 seconds and then we go and break?
And I wanted to ask him off camera. Then
off camera. Hiya. Okay, hiya. Sisi tumeenda off camera. We will see you after the break. Let's come back and give you more tips in terms of then how do you master the art of time management. See you after the break. Welcome back to the show. Of course, there's another show happening during the break, but so glad that you're still with us. It's Mindful Monday, and we're discussing time management and mastering the art of time management and how that will help us in different aspects of our lives, okay? And the question that we're asking you this morning is very simple, and that is which daily routines either help or sabotage your productivity? Which daily routines help or sabotage your productivity? Watu wa kuamka mapema. There's also someone here who says I think they wake up at 3 a.m. I'm trying to find that comment 1 second. Yeah, waking up early and setting my intentions for the day, that actually helps. And then another one says, midnight prayers are a great hack, the greatest, but on time, salvation shattered the whole concept of it. Abba, God, is never in a rush. I was Tony Go, Tony Do before, but I'm currently shelved and gathering dust in his armory to be deployed soon. We are Tony Go, Tony Do. Saizi amekuwa shelved, yeah, gathering dust. Why are you gathering dust? You know, and I think it's the different seasons that we were talking about earlier on. So then, how do we master? You know, I think I'll start with you, Catherine, because like I said, the teaching profession has helped you to master time and also just help you in your day-to-day, because now mumefunga shule 2 months. What are you doing with your time to anzia? And do you find yourselves waking up sometimes like way earlier than that you should?
Not really, because now I've set my mind like now I'm on holiday. So I have other things to do.
Okay.
Even preparation for next year.
Ooh,
yes,
okay.
Because in teaching you have the syllabus. You know there are some things that long-term materials that you need.
You need to prepare.
So this time the long period, that's when you use for preparing such.
Okay.
Sometimes you're even called to work. Sometimes, so you even when you sleep, you know in your mind you can be called.
Yeah.
So I am very flexible with whatever I'm doing. Okay. But this is the time that I can be able to visit and do other things that I am not able to do. Because I'm one person, when I'm at work, I rarely ask for permission to go and do my errands, because I try to utilize my schoolwork and keep aside
time
what I'm supposed to. Yeah. So I try. That's how I've systemed myself, because the children I'm teaching, if I am not disciplined, they will be like me. They say, you go to a class, the way you find the class, their teacher is like that. So you want to be a role model
to the learners.
So that's how I plan myself. And also, there's no one who is perfect. True. Even the perfectionists, you're not perfect. So it's always good to be flexible when it comes to time. Like the gentleman was saying, like if you're going to Mombasa and you want to be there by this time and there's a puncture on the way, you need to accommodate such in your life. In your mind, you should know that something can happen and everything else belongs to God. There are some things that you cannot control as much as you want to. Yeah. Even Ecclesiastes, I've seen people are quoting Bible here. It says there's time for everything.
Yes.
So you take time as it comes. Sometimes even the one we think they are not planned now, in future, he will be pushed to plan himself. Those girls who are running away from him, he must be able to know how to win them. Because if you're always not on time, like me, I could not date someone who is not keeping time. Because you tell me, let's meet at Nation Center at 6 p.m. I am there by 6. And then you come at 8, you'll not find me there. So you will improve your time. If it's something you really want, you must improve.
You make time for the things you care about. Okay, I see that. And also in the education system, I mean, you're there, you see what has worked and probably what should improve to at least help the learners as well in terms of not just time management, but also just make it easier for them to sometimes enjoy school, but even after school, help them to be responsible citizens, right? So what are some of the things that probably you would say, this needs to a little bit change, or maybe, you know, let's tweak 1 or 2 things to enable the learners enjoy school?
Yes, like parenting nowadays, we want to do everything for our children. We want, like, when you tell them to carry a bag, you feel like you're burdening them. You want to take them right to class, carry the bag, place them where they are. Let them learn to do things on their own. Because making a bed, it's not a sin, it's not a crime, it's not an auntie's job at home. If you train your children to do things on their own at the tender age, they will grow as they know that I'm supposed to do this, and this is not punishment. This is part of growth, which will help them now even manage better. They have a routine both at home in school.
In school.
Yes.
Okay, I see that. Yeah, because most parents do. Actually, our total.
Yes, and also parents should work
teachers.
hand on hand with the teachers, so that whatever is done at home continues in school. Then we'll not have a generation where children do not understand themselves. They need to be pushed, because the Gen Zs for real. Unaweza kuta kitanda, it's just the way it was like
2 months ago.
2 months ago, yes. And those are things that sometimes maybe it is being done in school and it is not being practiced at home. Yeah.
Okay, I see that. I see that. Hey, so very good. You've mastered the art of time. Can you share with us the lessons that you've learned? Has it always been, that way? What are some of the things that probably you learned along the way that has helped you to really master the art of time management, and how has that helped you?
So I think you go through first the dissatisfaction with the way you're handling time, then monitoring and consistently improving. So even I have had to almost shift, because then it was too rigid. Then I realized that I had to tweak other parts of it. So I think mastering is really about first understanding why you need time. Why is it important to you? And then really working at it to support you. Because like I said, it's the only advantage we all have. So tweaking it to make sure that it actually works for you.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'd say just practice until you get it. Okay. But also I'd say community. Create the right structures around you to support you with time, and borrow a lot. Borrow, buy, don't steal, but borrow and buy time a lot. I think for you to move forward, yours is not enough. You have to take other people's time.
Okay, but for someone who's watching us and probably say, but I do not have the resources to either buy or borrow time. How best then can they still maximize, achieve alignment? Because we said balance.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I think first is just to, if you have already the dissatisfaction, you see, that's where it should start. You shouldn't just be like, other people are saying we need to manage time, therefore I need to. Where you have a dissatisfaction, so the question is, the first thing is to track it. Just like you would money. Where am I spending? So you could actually write hour to hour. Today, 7 to 8, I was in traffic. 9 to 10, I was at this place. Now, with time, if you do 7 days of tracking, you'll actually be able to see where you're wasting it, and then you just tweak that part. Next week, you have a better outcome. Then the next week, you tweak it until you get actually to the right point. And then you could maybe start even getting extra time. Which means you don't need to buy it. It means actually you just need to reorganize yourself. But then where you find you're short, then why am I short? Is it something I can trade? Is there something else I can trade?
Okay, I say that. And Brian, so Dan talked about your employer owns the job, you own your career. Is that what you said? Yeah. So probably for someone who is starting out, or maybe they are at the peak of their career, and they're like, maybe I want to pivot into something, different, or probably try something new. How then can they, are there like tools or resources that can help, such a person probably either maximize time or just help them as far as their career growth is concerned?
Yeah, I feel like something very important people need to learn is like your career is your business. And just the same way, if I'm a CEO, I'm going to allocate time, resources, and energy to marketing, sales, operations, and like delivering for the customer service. You have to do the same for your career. You have to make sure, number one, you allocate time and energy for marketing yourself. So have a really good CV, have a good LinkedIn profile, apply for jobs, go to networking events, have time, energy, and resources set aside for marketing. Number two is learning how to sell yourself. So for example, if you're transitioning from maybe one role to another, the skills that you built in that one role for 10 years, you can still sell them for another role, but you need to learn how to sell it, right? So I usually advise people to make sure that there's so many people, there's coaches, there's mentors. You can find a friend who's really good at job searching, talk to them, learn how they do it. Because once you learn how they do it and you action it yourself, then you're gonna be able to achieve success. My mentor says something like, it goes, I don't remember it quite well, but it goes like, if you don't know what to do, find out what to do. If you know what to do, start doing it. And if you're already doing it, don't stop, right? So if you're at the point where you don't know what to do, find people who know how to job search, find people who know how to, advance in their careers, and ask them, how did you do it? And then now once you find out, just do the actions, and then now never stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that partly answers my next question, which I was going to ask. A lot of people say, I'm unemployed, okay? Because we all understand how unemployment is like, you know, a big issue right here in the country. So a lot of people will just sit and say, hakuna kazi, there's no employment. So then what are the things that people can do during this phase of unemployment to still maximize on time and not waste the entire day completely doing nothing because sina kazi?
Yeah. I remember when I quit my first job, I was working for a Kenyan company and the pay was terrible. And then I was just sitting at home and I asked myself, if I decided tonight or today won't end until I make 5,000 bob, what would I do? You see? So ask yourself questions like that, and then that answer that you've given yourself, do exactly that for a few days, and you will have everything you've ever wanted from life. Yeah.
Okay. Does it always have to be, and sorry, this is not just you, because I know you've quoted money several times, yeah? Because a lot of people would say, yeah, but money is a driving factor towards doing these things and how I am spending, you know, my money. But there's also, I think last week we had a conversation about volunteering, you know, sometimes doing things for free.
Yeah, pro bono,
yeah. So how important of a factor is that in terms of helping us manage our time, but also gaining skills here and there?
I feel like if you're doing something productive, even if it's not paying you yet, it will pay off eventually. So volunteering, doing pro bono work, putting it on your portfolio, going to places, finding people who have businesses and asking them to do services for them for free, that will come through for you really well if you do it correctly.
Okay. All right. 24 hours a day. What are you doing with it? Employed, unemployed, in business, in the gig economy, what exactly you're doing with it will determine a lot of things. Okay. So Dan, for HR practices, right? Because like we said, don't be rigid in terms of, okay, okay, those structures, right? In the company and company policies and whatnot. How then do we ensure that it sort of like favors everybody with the understanding that, yes, we only have 24 hours in a day, we need productivity, but also allowing room for, you know, flexibility here and there to at least help the employees remain productive optimally.
All right. There's a question you had asked, Brian. I wanted to comment on it, but yes.
Go. It's okay. You can still comment.
There's an aspect of career, and you had asked about what do you do at that stage. There's an aspect where you sit down and prepare yourself and package as you wait for the opportunity. You cannot sit down, say there are no jobs, and you are doing nothing. And someone comes, offer you a job, and say that one I cannot do it. I don't have the skills to do it. So take time, research on the job market. And nowadays, it's not even about money. You have money to buy YouTube. Nowadays, there are content in the YouTube. Do you even watch things that skills? Because now employers are here to buy solutions. They have problems, and you are there to offer solutions. Are you the solution to their problems? So for me, I volunteer up to date. So anytime I see an opportunity, I want to get into that field, I volunteer. I volunteer in a chat space. I lead organization where I'm not even being paid a cent. But that is putting my skill into use. And volunteering gives you confidence and even help people to watch for you. Because in life, Brandon said you need a coach and you need a mentor. But most importantly, you need a sponsor. Someone where the opportunity, they'll mention your name. That I know someone that can do this job. So if there's a career coach, I say, I know Brian, he can do this job perfectly well. So now back to the question on that you had asked, maybe you could repeat the question.
Yes, like the HR practices and considering the different structures and policies in different workplaces, how do we make sure that it accommodates everybody?
So one thing I normally say, and even in any organization I've worked for, if our structures are not helping us achieve our goals, then we should do away with them. Structures are man-made. Those systems are man-made. So one thing I do, and of course I also encourage people to do, is like understand the level of engagement of employees. Have conversations. You can have like an engagement survey and just even have one-on-one. What is this that organization could do for you that will help you be productive? Yes. You can talk about so many things. Some people say I need much pay, but other people say I don't need money, I need time with my family. So you have to come, once you understand what your workforce needs, now you tailor things that work for them. It might not, you might not get it all right, but at least you'll be at advantage where, yes, you need money, but I've given you flexible arrangement. Yes, finish work and go do your side hustle, get extra money. I've given you enough time. So if you need also time to spend with your family, is to be able to create structure where I'm able to give you time to spend with your family and also to be productive. So one is to be able to assess all the system within the organization, because the organization is about people, system, and of course structure. So if I have the right structures and be able to evaluate them, are they working for the organization or they are working against the organization? And when I talk about the organization, I cannot talk about the organization without talking about the employees. Employees are the #1 resource of every organization. So if they are my #1 resource, so what is this that I now bring them as partner now to the organization? Now let's converse. This system we had put in place, is it working for you? Get feedback, because they are the people that are working with the system. Once you create the system and in the boardroom, there are people who come to implement it. Is it working? You have created like the clock in for them. Is it working? Because yes, my child is sick. I'm supposed to attend to this child. And you're asking me to clock by 8. And if I don't clock by 8, I lose money. So is it really working? So create once you have that, you are able to create an inclusive structure, an inclusive system that works for all your employees. And in return, you have a productive and a well-motivated workforce that you don't even have to supervise anyone. Someone will come to work because, yes, my boss will be, I got you.
Yeah. Okay, I see that. Can we take one last round of questions? And then, okay, go ahead. Please start with your name.
Okay, I'm Mwanaharakati J. Habuba.
Hey.
Yeah, there's a time panelist Mary amesema, you can borrow time by hiring machine like washing machine. But my question is that time management ama time wastage? Kwa sababu the time unaboro, hiyo machine kusaidia itakuhitaji pale kuicontrol, au kuna time labda power itaenda off. Pia itakuwa imekutatiza. Yeah, that is my question.
Wewe, borrow time as a message. Okay, all right. Anybody else? Msanii nimesahau yingine. Msanii, okay. Do you want to start? Please, mtetezi. Mama, ndio mtetezi.
Mtetezi Mwafrika.
Unaweza simama? Kamera ikuone. Yes.
Okay. Mimi kama sijakosea, kuna mchango fulani nimesikia kiongozi akichangia hapo hivi mbele. Ya kwamba sasa mimi niko na kwenye msisitizo, yani ningependa kusisitiza kwa vijana kwamba kama labda umemaliza shule, tatizo kubwa linalotuathiri sisi vijana kwa sasa ni ile hali ya uoga. Yani unaogopa kufanya kitu. Ukihofia jamii nayo kuzunguka itakuchukulia kivipi? Mimi nimesomea engineer. Itakuwaje leo niende mjengo? Hawa wanaonizunguka watafikiriaje? Sasa swali linalojiuliza, je, kumbuka katika maisha yako ama we mwenyewe binafsi hapo ulipo, hawa ambao unaowahofia watakusema vipi? Jioni kifika, kila mtu ataingia nyumbani na kila mtu atakuwa na chake alichopata kwa siku. Hakuna support yote watakayokupa. Tofauti ya wewe mwenyewe kuumia, ambapo wewe mwenyewe binafsi utaingia kivyako. Kwa hiyo mimi huwa napata hamasa sana haswa katika yale mazingira ambayo mimi natoka, kwa sababu watu wazima, wamama huwa naangalia wanajituma sana. Ukiamka saa 10, saa 9 unakuta wako nje wanapambana. Sasa swali najiuliza, inakuaje sisi vijana wadogo miaka 20, 25 tunaogopa kufanya? Kwa nini? Kwa hiyo mimi ningependa kuambia vijana wenzangu, kazi ni kweli tunajua hazipo. Lakini siku zote si wote tutapata kitu ambacho tunahitaji kulingana na hali jinsi ilivyo. Unaona? Mimi ningependa kuhamasisha tuwe watu wa kujaribu. Jaribu. Tusiwe watu wa visingizio ya kwamba mimi nina 500, hii 500 itafanya nini? Na kitu ni utakachoanzisha kwa hiyo shilingi 500. Kipe muda. Kwa mwezi utaona matokeo yake. Sasa wewe una shilingi 500, unataka jioni ifike uwe na 100,000. Akiwalai. Inasikitisha sana. Mimi napenda sana kusema kwamba kila kitu lazima tukipe muda wake. Kwa sababu hata unayeona leo amefanikiwa, amegharimika muda, amechukua muda. Amechukua muda wa miaka labda 20, ndio maana leo unamuona ako na gari, ako na nyumba. Kwa hiyo tuache kukata tamaa. Tuache ile hali ya kuhofia kwamba utachukuliwaje katika jamii inayokuzunguka. Kwa tusimame sisi kama sisi vijana, maana miaka tulionayo inaturuhusu kufanya chochote, kwa sababu kuna time ambayo itafika utatamani ufanye kile ambacho unahofia leo, lakini hautafanya. Kwa hiyo naomba tujipe moyo na tumtangulize Mungu, kila kitu kitawezekana.
Bas, amen. Asante. Thank you so much. Okay, one last very short question.
Mine will be a bit different. I think we're looking at the perspective of money and all that, but there's one thing we're also missing out. You know, our beautiful parents, big shout out to our parents. When you're 10 to like, you know, teenagehood, you're told wachana na vijana, wachana na wasichana.
Watakupoteza.
Ni masaa ya kusoma. Nimekupeleka shule usome, so wewe soma. You get to another age, tafuta kazi. Unapata kazi. You get to another age. Ulisema hata si wajukuu. Utaki nipate wajukuu, you know. So now you wonder, is there like a right time for this, you know, this elephant in the room called marriage, this elephant in the room called wajukuu, you know. And there's so many people out there when you're under pressure and they end up picking anyone, you know. Juu mzazi amesema, unaona, mzazi amesema by this time next year, Kimani kama
kwa na mtu anakimbia
Onyango. You know, so yeah, like to our panelists, what would you guys advise someone who's undergoing such pressure, someone who's maybe in the midst of planning for a wedding, na hayuko uko, honestly they're not there mentally, you know. So yeah.
I see. Time, time is unachelewa. Nafaa kuwa na mtoto anachukulia remote pale chini ya kiti. Okay. All right. So, yeah, there was a question on time wastage in terms of borrowing, buying, and is it time wastage? Is it, yeah.
I think when you borrow, you have to borrow wisely.
Okay.
So don't borrow, then you still use your time in managing the borrowed time.
Okay.
So I think like in what is given as an example, if it's a machine, I should just only be able to put the load and set it and go away. I don't have to also still supervise it. So you must borrow, of course, time wisely.
Okay.
But this is really just to supplement yours instead of, so that you can be able to use yours in much better places. That's what I'd say.
I see that.
But if you're borrowing still then supervising it, then of course it's not borrowed. It actually makes your work more difficult.
Okay, I see. Be wise on where you're borrowing. Okay, Brian?
And if I can say something about what he said, I feel like as Gen Zs, we are okay now with arranged marriages.
Really?
Just arrange them for us.
For like a relationship Tuesday, tomorrow.
Ni kugumu. It's very hard. Yeah. Because looking for someone is difficult now.
Yeah. So arranged marriage.
Turudi huko.
And so that helps with like dealing with these pressures, you know, finding the right person and all those things. Very interesting. Okay, listen, we have 2 minutes to wind up the conversation. Okay. So yeah, let's have like your parting shot in terms of then moving forward, because I'm actually thinking about the future of work, and even like families and the family setup, and even like the education sector as well. I want to believe there will be changes along the way. So how then can we prepare for them, given in mind that even in 10 years, we'll only still have 24 hours in a day. Time will not, you know, increase or decrease. So then how do we prepare for the future, bearing in mind that time is still a factor? Do you understand, Catherine?
Yeah, mine is flexibility.
Okay.
You need to be flexible because things will change. So you must move with time, the way things are coming. If the system of education, the way it changed, you can't still teach the old things that you used to teach. You must.
We were actually not even ready for the change. In itself,
even there are some people who are still not adapting the change. So it's a matter of being flexible and adapting to change, because time is the only thing that is constant, and we need to move with it. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, Catherine. Dan?
Wow. So she talked about time. I talk about change. Of course, change is also there. You also have to change, or the change will change you.
Okay.
So one thing about time is be intentional what you want to do and do what you said you wanted to do. And also focus time to capacity build yourself, because at the end of the day, you cannot offer what you do not have. You cannot pour from an empty cup. So even to the young people, to everyone watching, to any profession, just know that at the moment that you feel that you're not doing anything, please find something to do. And I'll advocate for continuous learning, invest time in learning, so that when opportunity comes, it finds you ready. Yeah. So that you don't say opportunity might come and it's disguised and you say, I can't do it. So please take time to invest in yourself, fill in that cup, and learn, relearn, and unlearn. Things that are not working for you, it's time to unlearn. And also change, also be adaptable enough, because tomorrow things are working, today things are working, tomorrow things are not working. So are you able to adapt to the current trends, to the ever-evolving trends in the workplace? Okay. And to anyone that maybe is going through a bit transition, you know, there are people out here to help. Like, of course, there's a program we run with my friends. Of course, my friends are running. It's called Moms Bouncing Back with Career Gap. So if maybe you are a mom and probably you took a break maybe to take care of your child, there are people out there to help you. Yeah. But you have to be in the right rooms to find them. And also to every young person, please network. I don't stay at home. So if you are looking for maybe a spouse or someone, you are not going to get them at the comfort of your house. You also have to be out there. So someone said that if you are not going out, probably you are most likely to get married to your neighbor, and maybe you don't like your neighbor. And again, let's not have this pressure that our parents are putting into us. I'm at that stage where my mom will, anytime she calls, like, unaleta lini? And I'm like, that is not a priority for me at this point. Nimleta fanya nini? Akule nini? You know, those are the questions you have to ask yourself, because yes, I better marry late than marry the wrong person. Okay. So, and also, you also don't have the pressure of bringing children, so that ndio tuweke pay bill tukuchangishie. We also don't have that pressure. So, don't bow to the pressure of the society. Okay. Move with your own pace. And be intentional with what you are doing.
I see. Yes. Thank you so much, Dad. Hey, you mtashare 30 seconds each.
I think for me, just to say you're the most important person, yourself. Yeah. So decide the level of investment you want to put on yourself. Okay. And I think time is a competitive advantage. So the sooner you master it,
the better. Where do we find the book? Is it out?
Nuru, Amazon, you can actually get it.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah. Thank you so much, Mary. Brian?
Okay. And as Mary said, often, you need to borrow time. And one of the easiest ways to borrow time at the moment is using AI a lot. It will save you a lot of time. So if you're someone who's confused about where to invest your time, learn AI. Okay. And if you're looking for help with your career, our website is careerswithoutborders.co. You can reach out to us and we can help you.
Fantastic. Yeah. Thank you so much, Brian. Umesema ile advert ya over 40 years learn AI applies to everybody, not just over 40s. Brian With is a career coach, Mary Kinyua, an author. We had Dan Oginga, who's a HR practitioner, and as well as Catherine Njeri Njuki, who is a teacher. Thank you so much for the very, very valuable insights we learned today. Thank you so much for the very wonderful questions. I hope you've learned a lot. Last minute, you did do that, okay? All right, we'll see you tomorrow right here on Your World, same time, same place on Relationship Tuesday. But until then, stay safe. God bless. And remember, time is the only constant thing that we have as human beings, okay? See you tomorrow.